everybody, welcome to my channel. This is Lara, and today is Flosstube 45, which I never remember to say because it's always in the title, and yeah. Today's February the 5th. I need to call my dad. And tell him happy birthday today. Sorry for the noises. Apparently the stepson is upstairs demolishing his bedroom. I don't know. He's finally feeling better after he got the flu. I have been lucky so far. I found a can of Lysol and I've been spraying everything, especially after that one. And if you can hear music, my husband is out there bebopping. He ended up with today off of his outside the house job. It's like I have apartment neighbors upstairs that are not fun to live with. Yeah, they have a plumbing issue apparently at his job, so nobody could go in while they were getting that fixed. So today is a normal Flosstube. I did get a Stitch With Me recorded. That is scheduled to go up on Saturday at noon Eastern time. And I will be I talk about my absence and what happened a little bit, among other things. It's not as heavy as some of my older Stitch With Me's, but you know, it's life, so it is what it is. I know not everybody goes over there and watches that, and I think I want to try and keep it like separate as far as, I've talked about this a little bit before, you know, keep the personal life updates and the Stitch With Me that, you know, if you want to go listen to me jabber on about life, then that's where it'll be. Not that I'm not ever going to talk about life here, but just maybe not in detail. Let's see here. So January was interesting because I had an injury, but I still stitched a lot which is good, you know, whatever. His music is very distracting to me, so I apologize if I'm not going to make a lot of sense today. For whatever reason, I have a hard time articulating when that part of my brain is engaged. So I stitched all but 4 days in January, and which I think one of those days was the day that Mr. Pinky made an appearance. My best day, I stitched 1,207 stitches, and my worst day, other than the ones that I did not stitch at all, was 157. So I have a huge range of capabilities when it comes to stitching. Total for January was 16,707. Not my best month, but I'll take it with being injured half the month. If you guys have noticed for the last, I don't know, however many videos that my ads were going haywire, I apologize. If you're not a YouTube Premium member, they just kind of placed them wherever, and Jen and I were talking about the annoying ads, and then she was like, oh my gosh, look at the ad placement in this video, and it was like, it was ridiculous. And I was like, I wonder how mine looks. It was just as bad. I don't think they play them every single like potential placement, but I was not taking that chance. So I went back and I did edit out quite a lot of possible ad placements. So there's like 4 tops in an hour-long video. Revenue may go down, but that's okay. I would rather have that lowered than you guys like oh my god, I'm so sorry, as annoyed as I am at ads every 5 minutes or less. Okay, hopefully I put clips together correctly because I forgot to hit pause and hit stop. Okay. Now what was I going to say? This is going so well. Okay, so I did end up, if you did not see the posts tab, which changed from community tab, which whatever, I did decide to move Monopoly over 2 weeks for this particular time, probably for the next time too. But mostly because by the time I got halfway through the amount of stitches, it was Sunday. And I was like, I really don't want to push myself and stress about if I'm going to get it all done by today. And I didn't want you guys to stress about trying to fit all of those stitches if you're playing along into your week. Like, that's not what it's about. It's no stress, right? So yeah, it's the number of projects left is not symmetrical. What's the word that I want? I swear I slept last night. Yeah, it's not like divided in half. I didn't, because it was 13 projects anyway, but it's not like 7 and 6 or whatever. I don't think. It doesn't matter. It's a half number of stitches. Anyways, so next week, assuming I get to record, I don't assume that on any given week anymore, but assuming that I can record next week, we will do at least one round of Monopoly. If the stitches are small, I will go ahead and do a second round because I leave for Florida on the 21st of this month. So the 26th is my next recording date. I will be on a beach. Not happening. And then the next week on the 5th, I will be traveling home or very close to traveling home at that point. So no videos for 2 weeks. I'm not going to make any promises on any other videos besides that of not recording. I was going to say, maybe you'll try and stitch with me. I don't know. I don't do pre-recording very well as far as like, here's some content while I'm not here. Simply because I don't know. I have not a whole lot to talk about other than stitching, which is kind of sad. I mean, it's not sad, but you know what I mean. So, okay, I think that's out of the way. Let's get into the stitching. I did get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I did work on 15 projects. You are only going to see 14 of them. One of them is a mystery round robin. I did record a snippet of that, but that is going to go into a video at the end of the year, towards the end of the year. So, and I will show you my board when we come back from the clips so that you can kind of have a visual of what just happened. So, without further ado, here is the stitching that I have for you this week. Okay, so first up is this pattern from Japan called Fuji from Gotenyama at Shinkawa on something. It's really long. And I'm not, like, if you want to, like, translate that page, it's from Olympus, their brand of threads. It is on this 9-count fabric, so it uses 6 strands of floss for the full cross and 4 strands for the back stitch. So I'm glad this is a kit because wow, that's a floss eater. I don't know if I've ever worked on 9-count fabric before, even as a beginner. I mean, I worked on plastic canvas, so that might have been close, if not 9-count. But yeah, so 380 stitches is what we're looking at today, minimum. So far so good. I am feeling, I don't know if ill is the right word or if I'm just like psyching myself out about it. Little guy is still homesick, but yeah, just gonna keep up the fluids and rest and hope to knock it out before it even starts. Anyway, all right, here we go. Okay, 405 stitches later, here we are. This is the base of Mount Fuji on the picture. This little area of blue was so nice I stitched it twice because I was 1 stitch down when I put these 2 stitches in. So I frogged that and re-stitched it, but on the fabric here is 405 stitches. So I did just get asked a question about where I got this guy. This is my paper pattern holder that I clip on my Q-snap, and it does work on those hoops as I showed last week. I got mine at a local cross-stitch store, Keepsakes. I don't remember the exact brand of this one, but Yarn Tree makes one that 123 Stitch sells. So I will put that link in the description below if you are also wanting your own one of these. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know percentage. This is in the full coverage piece, and I'm not mathing that. So 1 down, 12 to go. Okay, next up is Shaman. This is artwork by Lori Prindle, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. This is the supersized Mex color version. I'm there in the upper left-hand corner. This is only slated to get like 100 stitches, so oh, man down. Just dropped my tablet. So it'll get more depending on the length of my thread that I'm using, but it's basically just filling in the rest of this page. Excuse me. And as you can see, I've just barely started doing my feathering that I do. I don't do a major feathering. I do the same one that I did on Dragons of the Sabbat, if you've seen that before. I don't know what is happening right there, but it's bugging me. So yeah, it's just going to be a couple lines down, really, that you'll see. So nothing much to look at the moment, but yeah, it is what it is. So let's see. Oh, and how many stitches do I have in this already? So far there are 4,208 stitches in for 0.63%. This thing has 665,334 stitches in it. So, all right, see you in it. Oh, and I keep forgetting to say stuffs. This is being stitched on 28 count fabric, even weave from China, and this is being stitched 1/1 full cross. Okay, a whole 156 stitches later for 0.66%. Can you tell where I put the stitches? Oh, that's out of focus. Come on, you can do it. It does not want to focus, but there, got a couple more lines there. Oh, it's so sad. But yeah, I'm even though I'm like, it's only 156, I'm ready to go ahead and switch to the next one. I think my list has me motivated to keep going with the different projects, just because I have an overall goal. So this one will get put away for now. Okay, the next piece comes from this Cross Stitch for the Soul book by Emma Congdon, and I just call it a good companion. But a good companion shortens the longest road. And I am going to be stitching it on this, sorry, kind of vintage, to be honest, vintage 14 ounce, 14 count Aida fabric. I got my margin all picked out. I'm going to actually start at the top of the pattern because I've got probably 8 inches of extra fabric on the bottom here. So I'm supposed to put 400 stitches total in there. So we'll see you after 400 stitches. Okay, I got 417 stitches in. I did swap out the Q-snap for a wider one so that I could get, this is the edge of the piece, and this is the top of good. So I'm pretty happy with the progress with it so far. I did decide to do this 2 strands over one for this 14 count. Sometimes I do 3, but I was not feeling the 3 today. So I don't know if we'll get any more stitching in tonight. Tomorrow starts the month of February. Yeah, I don't know if I'll get any more stitching done tonight. I'm starting to get a little tired, so I've been going to bed early the last couple of nights. Still feeling okay, but yeah, we'll see. Okay, next up is this Misty Castle on a Lake. Excuse me, sorry. This is a piece by Winkin, Blinkin, and Odd, who are no longer in business. Lots of light colors. This is a big one. Let's see. That is our starting point. I'm stitching this on a, oh my gosh, where's my voice? 32 count fabric, 1/1 full cross. I am currently at 3,507 stitches for 1.39%. I'm supposed to be working this for 460 for the Monopoly call. And it is 251,512 stitches large with some number of colors. I don't know. Most of this will probably be this color because there's a big patch of it here that I will be working on getting filled in. I may come up here. I don't know. We'll start with that and see where I go with it. So, anything else I want to say about this? No, not really. Yeah, I'll see you in a few. Okay, got 476 stitches in. It's like 3 colors that I worked in. I put a thread here, filling in this color, and I came back up and finished off a diagonal with, like, I don't know, a smattering of stitches here and that, and then I came back up here and started filling those stitches in. You can see there, that color. There, honestly, I can't really even tell. There's such a subtle difference between those two colors, but that's what's getting filled in here. So I'm happy with where it's at as far as that goes. I do really like working on this one. It doesn't look like much, but it's a fun stitch. So let's see, we're at 3,984 stitches out of 251,512 for 1.58%. And I'm not sure what's next. Let's find out. Okay, here we go. Next up is Flower Galaxy 1. This is a piece by 2x2 Stitch Art. It is 130 by 130. Obviously not full coverage. And I'm going to be stitching it on this beautiful red fabric from Fiber on a Whim. Yep. Lipstick. It is 32 count, but it did shrink down to about 34 count. And I'm going to be stitching this 2/2 full cross. So this is the top center of the piece. So I think it starts right about here because it's not, the tallest stitch is not in center. That's okay. So looking to put 200 stitches in this, so we'll see what it looks like when we get there. Alrighty, here we go, 210 stitches in. Got the top of a flower here going on. I was hoping to get a little bit more, but I only needed 4 stitches when I pulled the last length of thread, and it was like stupid short. So yeah, I really like how these colors are looking on that fabric, so pretty happy with that choice so far. We are at 3.37% complete on this piece. So, all right, yeah, that's it for that piece. On to the next. Okay, oops, it's stuck. So I decided to go ahead and do the first installment of stitches for the swans, since this basically has 2 chunks of stitching that need to be done. This one can be anywhere from 30 to 300. This is the evening stitch today, so I'm just going to stitch until until bedtime, which it could be 300, it could be 50, I don't know at this point. I counted over from my stitches on the fox, and this snowflake is what I'm going to start with, and then I'm going to count again down to the tips of the swan's wings here and start on that. So I only counted twice, but I counted very carefully and with counting pins. So cross my fingers that is going to line up properly with the fox. So All right, here. Oh, and I am stitching this on the Bestitch Me conversion of Gray Magic. It is a, what is this? There you go. Lugana, 28 count. I'm going to be doing it 2/2, full cross. And I do have the, what is that? Gentle Art for whatever the Grecian Gold. I'm just going to do the 3865 and place the chalk because chalk just didn't really have enough variegation for me to justify getting a fancy floss for it. So, okay, we'll see where we get to. Okay, 312 stitches later. I did not want to stop stitching on this. I am glad that this is going to get worked on again for this round of Monopoly. I don't know. This is basically this bottom. There's like a few more rows of the water, I think, to do. Is that right? Yeah, it only comes down maybe like here. This is the furthest left-hand part of the pattern. And it's the butt of the other swan that comes up around here. And then this guy goes here. So I am looking forward to working on this one again, but that won't be till the very end of Monopoly stitching. So this is actually the second investment to go up to 300, like, because the first investment was for fire, I believe, and that was supposed to be like 20 to 200. And then the chaos investment was 30 to 300. So this will be noted in chaos's pyramid scheme, not investment, pyramid scheme. So when things happen to the pyramid scheme, this will either get more stitches or less stitches or no stitches. It'll come out and play later. So yeah, I don't really know percentage simply because I did get it in Pattern Keeper, but it calculates all of the squares and not just the marked squares. So yeah, really, really happy with that progress, obviously. So, I mean, there's a ton of fill-in to do, obviously. So, yeah, I will probably just keep on working on that line when I pick this up again, but I don't know. We'll see. All right. Next one. Okay, next up is White Horse by Kajena Art. This is charted by Pain Free Crafts. I am stitching this on a Bestitch Me fabric called something. I don't remember the name of the fabric anymore. Yep, nope, it's not coming to me. I am not stitching any of the white background. So I actually don't honestly know what real percentage I'm at, but that's where I'm sitting at. Yeah, I do kind of wish I knew how many stitches I'd stitched so far, but it is what it is. If I really get a hankering, I'll look up my old stats, but don't count on it. So yeah, this is only slated to get about 200, or slated to get 200 stitches, so probably a little above that once I finish off the threads. So I did have to grid this with sulky thread. This is 32 count, and I'm stitching at 1/1 full cross. And I did not want to grid with my friction pens because that does leave a ghost image on the fabric, and I didn't want that showing. So that's where we're starting from. There is a smattering of stitches up in here, but we'll see where we get. I don't know if obviously this is going to get worked in. I don't know if I'll stick down here and maybe start pretending to work in a diagonal and fill this in. I don't know. We will see. See you in a sec. And here we are, 280 stitches later. I cannot say that I enjoyed working on this. That was a very long 280 stitches. And I don't even know if you can tell the difference. I did fill in that little bit up here with that thread that was hanging. And then I did start filling in this diagonal here with a couple of colors. Spattering up here that you can't really see. And then, yeah, just see if I can get this to focus. Good grief. I don't know. Hopefully you can see that okay. And then just filled in a bit down in here. So, I am now at, yeah. I think what I'll have to do is like go by amount, like percentage increase rather than total percentage for something like this, which I did not note before I started. Or did I? I may have. Hold on. Yeah, so I increased it by 0.24%. So, do I have anything else to say about this? Not really. Other than it's boring. So far. I don't like working around these silky threads at all. I definitely prefer my friction gridded fabric. And it is Sunday. I have just under half of the stitches done for this week. I think what I will do is I will pull the next project that is going to get me to about half, and then we will start working on temperatures, and we will go ahead and spread these stitches over for Monopoly over 2 weeks. I am still feeling okay, thank goodness, but another member of the household has succumbed to le flu, so I'm not out of the woods yet. I have to avoid one more round for now. So I'm still hopeful that you'll actually be seeing this on Wednesday, but yeah, we'll see. So hopefully you all would have seen my decision in the community tab if you were wondering about it. So yeah. Okay, on to the last Monopoly piece, and then we'll start doing temperature stitching. Okay, so our halfway mark will be this Mountain Santa. He's only supposed to get 105 stitches. So like what, a third of him will be done with that. This is out of that 100 cross stitch ornaments. I found this random, I think it's an 18 count, maybe. I'm going to do him 2/1 full cross, and it's just a scrap of random fabric. So he's all of 18 by 38 stitches. So, excuse me. Yeah, I don't think he's going to take up much space in this at all. So let's see what 100 stitches gets us. It's so tiny. So this is 109 stitches. This was a stupid piece of short thread, so I was hoping to get a lot more just because of a longer piece of thread, but that was not to be had. This is the top minus the little branch back stitch here. That's the bottom of the bag, and he's only going to be down here. I totally could have like scooted him way up to the top. There's going to be so much fabric on either side of him, but that's okay. I also probably could have done this 2/2. I'm really not sure what count this is. It feels smaller than 18 count, but it could be a 20 count. Who knows? I don't know. But yeah, he's going to be a little tiny guy to go on a tree. I love it. So, yeah, not much else to say about that. I will go ahead and start getting some temperature stitching going, and yeah, we'll go from there. Okay, so I decided to start with, well, not really decided to, but I went ahead and said I'm going to try and do both the high and low for today. It is 51 degrees outside, very unseasonably warm for February. That's in Fahrenheit. So the number one for the high spot is Soul here. This is a chart by Heaven and Earth Designs. Artwork is by Raven Phelan. He is 350 by 495, 90 colors, all yellow. I am stitching this on 28 count casual linen, 1/1 full cross. I am at 3,983 stitches out of 173,250. I am at 2.30%. Goal is to get at least 200 stitches in before I switch. So let's, I'm obviously going to work this guy in. And then you don't have the diagonals turned on this because it does seem to be working so far in some decent, like, not necessarily block stitching, but bulk stitching. Like I can just follow the thread pretty easily wherever it goes. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to turn. Do I want to turn the, what's it's on? Diagonals? Here, let's try. What's that look like? Yeah, maybe it'll bring me back up and fill in some more holes down here. I don't know, probably just see whatever the mood takes me. All right, see you in a second. Okay, I put in 399 stitches. I did not have one extra one to stick somewhere else without starting a whole new thread. So yeah, I'm at 4,382 stitches and 2.53%. I honestly didn't really want to stop, but I would like to keep getting progress on some of these other temperatures as well. The husband went to bed a little early today, so I probably have enough time for one more. Go ahead and get my, whatever it was, low. Yeah, that I have not done. And yeah, if this gets called again, I'll just add another clip onto the end of this one, and we'll see. We'll see what happens. So I needed these colors. These are bright and cheerful, and it's kind of one of those days. So I was glad to have this one out. But yeah, I finished. Did I finish filling that part? No, I've got like one more color right here to fill in. But that was the diagonal. I did finish the diagonal that is going here. Most of it just kind of trailed down here, just kind of filling stuff in, and then this color here that I added is in here somewhere. So, but yeah, really happy with those colors. Okay, tonight's low is 38 Fahrenheit. So number 8 for the lows is this Japan Garden. This is the Max Colors version. Artwork is by Dominic Davison, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. 625 by 444, Holitz of colors. I am in that very top left-hand section that doesn't look like a whole lot. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep just picking one color and seeing where the confetti takes me, because it is very, very confetti heavy. I am stitching it on this 32 count fabric, 1/1 full cross. It has some stitches in it. 838 stitches out of 277,500 for 0.30%. And yeah, I will stitch probably on this one until I go to sleep, unless I hit 200 fairly quickly and want to switch, and then I might just do whatever temp it is right now. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see where we get to. All right, I ended up with 500 stitches even, and did not work this thread in still. Yeah, I did just start coming back in here, and I think I have, whoops, I think I have one diagonal done now. Yes, one whole diagonal, right there. And then I just started coming back in and picking a color, and my strands ended up really long. So like the last thread took me from 331 stitches to 500 stitches. So I am working with really long threads, at least for single stitch or single strand 32 count. This color right here was this really beautiful like sea green that just kind of sprinkled in, and that really kind of brightened up some of the colors that were there. So still doesn't look like anything, just a mess of stitches. But we'll be able to see the trees coming in the background eventually. So I am now at 1,337 stitches for 0.48%. And I am at 277,500 stitches. Excuse me, out of 277,500 stitches. Blah, blah. It's late. I'm going to go to bed. Tomorrow is Monday. And I think this guy is finally to the point where I should be able to actually start getting some real work done. So stitches will probably slow down quite a bit, which is not a bad thing as far as work is concerned. So wish me luck. Okay, today's temperature stitching high was 65, which was amazing for the beginning of February. We had windows open and everything, trying to vent out the gross that's in the house. But yeah, this is the Temperature Potion Sal from Teeny Weeny X Stitch on Etsy. I think I forgot to mention where it was from last week. I am doing this on a 14 count opalescent Aida 2/1 full cross. And I'm in January. This is the end of the January shelf. And I forgot what I was going to say about it already. I am currently at 5,177 stitches out of 27,786. That is not including back stitching that I am adding. And that's at 18.63%. I am not sure how many bottles I will get in, but we're looking to do at least 200, so we'll see what she looks like when we're done. Okay, got 339 stitches in. I did these 3 bottles, as you can see, and all 3 of these are the same temperature range. So there is one more bottle to go in here, but I don't feel like doing that one tonight. And I think I'm going to wait to finish the back stitching until the end of the row is done, just so, because I keep forgetting not to stitch where there's a bottle. So I am now at 19.85% with 5,516 total. And this will go away until the next number 5 high temperature is called. Well, the low came up and it's also a 5, but it's 30 degrees lower than what the high was. It's going to be 35 tonight after our 65-degree day, which I'm very sad about. It was definitely nice to have the windows open for a little while today. The only problem that I have with that is that it gets me itching for spring. And we still have, what, 6 weeks of winter left? Yeah. It's going to be a long last part of winter. That's okay. So this is the Cross Stitch Studios 2025 Mystery Stitch Along. Celestial Fantasy is the theme. I do not have a mock-up for it at the moment. And, well, I have a mock-up for this page, but it looks terrible simply because of how, like, basically close up it is. But looking to me to be probably like a sun type depiction. That's my guess. So this is just about the width of the page. Yeah, right here is the cutoff. So I'm just going to keep working in this page. I have the next 2 pages, but they don't build into each other like the Heaven and Earth Designs style does. So it's one page at a time, unfortunately. So yeah, this is being stitched on the 32 count fabric, even weave, and I'm doing this 1/1 half cross. So maybe a goal of 400. I don't know. It's relatively late at night, so I don't want to stay up too terribly late working on this, but we'll see how fast it goes. Okay, I went a little gung-ho and was watching some Flosstube, and I've stayed up way too late, but that's okay. Just now starting to get tired. But I put 664 stitches in, so we are now at a total of 1,088 on this page. And each page does look like it's about 4,000. Well, a full page is 4,000 stitches. So I am now 27.20% done on this particular page. This design is 300 by 300, so it's not very big at all. But this will be where the tendrils of hair and stuff are starting to come in. So I think I've got like, how many? 1, 2, 3. I got 6 zeros on this page. Total 7. Ugh, there are 3 colors with exactly 1 stitch on this page. That's annoying. So this will go away until the next low 5 is called. So, right, I will see you tomorrow. Okay, here we go with a high temperature pick for, what is today? Doesn't matter. This is Pain Free Crafts Sake Dragon, artwork by Stanley Morrison. What does it say? 297 by 400, so not super big. And it's 44 today, so quite a bit chillier than yesterday, but it was still nice to go outside and not freeze to death. This is being stitched on, what is this? I think that's a 25 count Lugana of some sort, I think. And so far we have, excuse me, 2,303 stitches out of 118,800. I'm at 1.94%. And goal is to get at least 200 in this. So we'll see where I end up. And here we are, 861 stitches later. I am now at 3,163 stitches for 2.66%. You can see the dragon's horns coming in here. I had like 1 stitch over here. The rest of it was over here. Yeah, my husband was watching a show and sewing, and I didn't want to bother him I still made him pause a show to record this, but so yeah. Anything else to say about this? Not really. I'm ready to get out of the browns, to be honest, and the greens, but that's obviously it's going to be a while. I've just been filling in diagonals. So, yeah, this will go away until the next, whatever that was, number 4, temperature comes out again. Okay, for the load today, we finally have Dragons of the Sabbat. This is artwork by Ann Stokes, charted by Pain Free Crafts. This one is retired. It is now available on Heaven and Earth Designs. They do not look the same, in my opinion, as far as the quality of charting. I will leave it at that. It's a big one. It is that big, 755 by 800. And now, for those of you new to my channel, this is definitely a disadvantage of the way I am filming. No, I did want that. That I'm filming now, because it's already in the hoop, as you can see. You're not going to be able to see the whole thing. That is the black that I have done so far. So all of the outside black, all of the very middle black, and now I am working on the dragons. So I have, what is that, 203,502 stitches out of 603,998 for 33.69%. All of it just in black. And as you can see, I still have a significant portion to do. It's pretty much half 310. I am stitching this on 28 count even weave, and I am stitching it 1/1 full cross. I did not want, I don't necessarily care for how 28 count stitches 2/1 tent stitch, and I definitely didn't like the coverage of 1/1. So full cross it is. I am working, go back to this again real quick. Up there is where I'm going to be filling in, finishing up that. Now, obviously that's not going to get done tonight. That's like several thousand stitches still. Sorry, that's probably making you guys sick moving that fast. So I'll be working in here. I mean, my goal is only 200, but I mean, as last time I did well over 200. I'm not really much one for changing 4 and 5 times a day. And especially once I get just the temperatures and Monopoly stitching is done for the week, whether it's, you know, I'm splitting it over multiple weeks or whatnot, I tend to just want to do tops 3. So the high, the low, and maybe the temperature right now. But yeah, so this will be my last stitch for tonight, and actually this last stitch before I record. So yeah, so it'll just be whenever I decide to stop stitching for the evening is when I'm done. Is that all I want to say about this one? I think. Pretty sure. I think I may even record a stitch with me. Perhaps. I don't know. You'll find out once I've put in the last clip if I actually recorded a stitch with me. It will go up. If I do, it will go up, I don't know, maybe over the weekend. A little tide you over. But we'll see. Let me put it this way. I'm planning on recording. I don't know if I'm planning on posting. We'll see how it goes. All right. So see you when I have my little chunk done. All right. I did get my stitch with me recorded, and that is currently converting as we speak. I will probably have to upload it and schedule it to post before I even record tomorrow, because I don't think my phone will have enough space for it otherwise. So yeah, you get a little sneak peek. Oops, sorry, my ugly finger in there. I did decide to just go ahead and I usually finish threads off, but oops, sorry. With the way I work this, it's a little easier to mark it off in Pattern Keeper and bulk if I stop at a line. So that's what I did, and it's late, so I got 562 stitches in. So I'm now at 204,064 stitches for 33.79%. I did make a mistake here. Yes, here. The last time I stitched. And every single time I stitch like you saw with that harsh line where I was just kind of building it up, every time I do that, I screw it up. It's so much easier to take out an outline than it is all that block stitching. So I didn't. This is one stitch too far over right here at the top. Will I remember that that's there like that when I get here? Probably not. But hopefully I just either stitch over it or, you know, I'll do my fedging. Future Alera will have to deal with that in a couple of years. Because, yeah, I was not frogging that. Nope. So this is the last section left to do for this particular dragon, and then he is done. This is the Yule dragon, I believe. And as you can see, there's probably about 1,500 or so stitches left in that. So that'll be a little while before it's done. I don't think I have anything else left to say about that. Tomorrow's recording day, obviously. You know, when you're seeing this, it's whatever. It's late. I'm tired. Okay, so yeah, I think since that is it, I will go ahead and we'll go ahead and segue right into the Monopoly stitching because what I tried to do last week did not work. I tried to like do a face-to-face before we went into Monopoly, and then I completely forgot to cut off and go actually do Monopoly, or I don't know. I recorded in some weird order. I recorded in kind of an odd order, and that didn't quite work either. So without further ado, that's the stitching for the week. Do I have stats for you? I do not have stats for you because I didn't do it yet. I should have. I don't know. Maybe I will change my mind and you'll see me before we actually break to Monopoly. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. I'll show you my board after we've stitched this time, and give you a little bit of stats on that because some people like stats. I like stats. And then we will. No, we're not doing Monopoly. Just kidding. We are not doing Monopoly this week because I didn't get it all done. All right. Anyway, break to me. Okay, so yeah, other than having a complete brain fart about not doing Monopoly there at the end, I'm very happy that so far everyone seems to be recovering from illnesses and not continuing to pass it on some more. So here's what you just saw. Sorry for the glare. So what I've been doing is I have just, and I'll rewrite this so that it's just what's left in the Monopoly stitching, and then I have room again for temperature stitchings. I don't know how many this is. It doesn't really matter, but I've been writing the dates down of when I stitch, and I'm just like my planner thing that I got from Rainbow Studios. Rainbow. I don't remember. I can never remember the store name from Etsy. I've just been noting it at the end of the week because it's really difficult to do it properly on my phone. It's just too small. The planner is too big. Highly recommend. She was great to work with when I said I need a lot more holes than what your original planner has. Okay, so I will just copy and paste the stitches for Monopoly from last week into the description box below, just as a reminder for the totals from last week. So these are not new totals. If you're playing along and you run out, just keep stitching. You don't add more stitches, pull another project, start another project, whatever you want to do. And so let me go ahead and show you what I did not get worked on for Monopoly, just as a reminder for what is going to happen this week. If I can do this. Let me go ahead and find that one. Okay, African Daisy from Total Cross Stitch. And let me put this board up here so that I can actually see. Hopefully I don't knock you too much. That one is going to get 800 stitches, so that's going to be a big block. It is 500 by 333. Show you where I'm starting from. This is on a 28 count Monaco tea color. Oh man, down. Where's that? This was a center start when I had pneumonia last year, and I did not grit it. I don't know if I will change that before I start working on it as far as gritting. I probably will, maybe. I don't know. It's full coverage, so I could. But yeah, that is the start of where we're at. I'm excited for this one. I really love the colors in this one. And I need to work on it to get some bad juju out of it. Alright. And I also still need to work on Underwater Kingdom by Realless. I am starting from the start that I had last time. Upper left-hand corner. Here. And that one is supposed to get, well, it'll probably get another 500 stitches. The choice was between 300 and 500, but you guys know me. I go big or go home, right? Unless I'm really tight for time. And the swans are also going to get another 200 stitches maximum. Well, not maximum, minimum of 20, max of 200, or wherever I stop. I probably, yeah, because I even went over this past time. So that's from Cottage Garden Samplings. And I did a lot of nervous counting because this is the first one that I have had to position. So this is the start of the fox. And then I had to count over for the start for the swans, which is, this is where I got for that. Oh, it looks so much less on the camera than when it's right in front of my face and I'm stitching in front of it. There is three stitches between the patterns, based on their recommendations on their website. So I'll probably just keep working on those outlines. And did I have the other fabric with me, or did I pull it out and bring it in here? I think I just pulled it out, right? Otherwise I'll find it later, right? Okay, next one is One to Rule Them All. This is a piece by Tilton Crafts. It is 350 by 230, so not super big. Artwork is by Eric Stein. I don't have a huge start. It's just 310 up in that upper left-hand corner. And right there, that's where we're going to start from. So we're still just working in black. Not super exciting, but that's what it is. So what did I say? 300, and we'll go into that one. And then last but not least is this reproduction sampler by the Sampler called BB from $16.99. There you go. And again, I have an upper left-hand corner start. And it's supposed to be getting 380, which I'm actually pretty excited about. I do like this one. I want to see more progress on it. Here we go. We'll go back in and try and get this hot mess of backstitch done around the A. And go from there. And then the rest next week will be temperature stitching, depending on where we get with that. This is misbehaving a little bit. It's healing, but it's doing a little bit too good of a job. So it's still very, very sensitive. And I have to be careful of you know, smacking it and stuff, because when wounds like this heal, the tissue that starts growing in is not the final tissue. It's basically like, it's like the paramedics and doctors of the wound. It's going in, but basically it grows extra vessels within that encapsulated tissue, and that can be really easily damaged. And it's too much at the moment. So I'm still not, I just moving stuff around and trying to do like everyday stuff makes it hurt. So work is still an issue, which is starting to make me a little antsy. I need to be able to go back to work. Don't cut your finger off if you need to work. Is that it? think that might be it. Plans are just to, I mean, keep going, right? I have no haul. Wow. Okay. So I feel like I'm forgetting something, and that usually means I'm forgetting something. Oh well. Probably because I said it all in my Stitch With Me. So if you are any kind of curious about, I want to have a little chit chat, that'll be on Saturday. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. I love reading your comments, and I've been I've been much more mentally able to interact with everyone lately, so that's been fun. Man, I feel like I'm forgetting something, but that's okay. Yeah, any questions, comments, concerns, leave them in the section down below. Totals will be in the description box. And all right, I will see you Saturday for the Stitch With Me, and then I will see you again next week if you don't care to watch that. Next week will be another update, assuming, life doesn't happen. And yeah, please have a great Stitchy week. Thank you so much for joining me if you did. I did kind of forget to throw that in the beginning, didn't I? If you like what you had to see and you're not already subscribed, please consider doing so. I'd love to have you join me on this crazy journey of mine. All right, I'll come back in my editing, whatever, if I remember what the heck I'm forgetting. It's like I remember all. You forgot something, you just don't know what it is. Alrighty, guys, take care. Have a great Stitchy week, and I will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.